No, we're
Oh, recording started. Here we go.
here we go. All right, so I guess we live. We in
We
here.
are
All right.
live.
Welcome everybody. Today is episode 2 of My Military Barber Story. I got my boy Jay Blends on with me.
What's up,
Let's
y'all?
go. I just wanted to recap kind of what this was. This was a series that I started. Episode 1 was where I just shared my personal military barber story of how I became a barber in the military, or how those two things coincided together. I have personally been in the military since 2010. I've been a barber since 2017. And in episode 1, I just shared my whole story. Moving forward, I just wanted to get other guys on here, other service members, dudes that have served past and present, and have them just share their story as well, whether it's educational, inspiration, whatever the case may be, to anyone who's out there. Maybe you are somebody who's in the military as well, and you're aspiring to become a barber, or maybe it's just something interesting for you. That was the reason why I kind of wanted to start this series. And the first guest that I have on is my boy Jay Blends. I've been rocking with him for a while now on social media. We actually got to meet earlier this year in person at Blurred by the Bay. Yeah, so it was
Blurred by the
Blurred
Bay.
by the Bay was the first time that I got to meet him in person at the Blurred by the Bay Barber Expo. We chopped it up. It was all vibes. Went out to eat together, and then we met again at
BarberCon.
BarberCon. Yeah, at
BarberCon.
BarberCon in Dallas. The same thing. We went out, hung out, chilled, had a good time. You know what I mean? So definitely the similarities. Rocking with your boy. It's all been vibes. We support each other on social media. We see everything that we got going on. So definitely wanted to bring him on as well and have him share his story as well. So welcome, welcome Jay.
I
Welcome
appreciate the
to
invite, man.
yeah. Yeah, so
Now,
let's go ahead, open this up. Like I say, I know we said we're probably just gonna kind of flow with it and go with it from there. So let's do it. The floor is yours, bro.
all right, man. So for me, I was 5 years active duty in the Air Force. I was in from '09 to 2014. I
Hmm.
did 3 tours while I was in. I was in
Yay!
Iraq, yeah, three in 4 in what 5 years. But
Yeah.
2010 into 11, I was in Balad, Iraq.
Hmm.
2012 into 13, I was in Bagram, Afghanistan, and then 2013 into 14, I had a nice little TDY, and that was over in Abu Dhabi. And then
Ah. Yeah.
I also got to go into the contracting realm as well. Went back to Bagram, Afghanistan as a civilian in 2018 into 19. So I was logistics. I worked loaded aircraft, anything you could put on an aircraft that you can think of. That's what I did. I was born and raised Army. My dad was 22 years in the Army, so I
Ooh,
think
salute to
just
him.
yeah,
Man,
22
that's a
years is a
long
long
time,
time.
bro.
The real salute is to my mom. Salute to my
Mm.
mom.
Oh yeah, bro.
Uh, I mean, no, not taking away from my pops, but man, being a military wife and having to stick through all that for 22 years, your husband's
Yeah.
constantly training, your husband's constantly deploying, gone. That's a lot to digest and be able to be the backbone for that. So shout out to both of my parents, my dad for his service, paving the way, and also to my mom for just being able to be that support system, that backbone. I know my dad was trying to quit at 10 years, and my mom's like, nope, nope, you're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and shoot for that 20, buddy.
Uh huh. Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed my service. I got out as an E4. I was promotable at that point,
Hmm.
but I got out soon. This was back when Mr. Obama was doing rollbacks and stuff like that.
Oh
A lot of
yeah,
people was
the
getting
downsizing. Yeah, the
yeah, a
whole
lot.
redux and all that stuff that was going down.
So a lot of people was getting out early. A lot of people was trading in their retirement for not the full amount, and I feel bad for those guys. That sucks. A lot of people I
Yeah.
seen get out like 17 and a half years, 18 years, and
Yeah.
man,
Hmm.
that's a tough thing. But that was about the time I got out. I got to see different transitions of military going from one, way to another. And I love the military. Like I said, I was born and raised, but I'm glad that I found barbering. And, it really helped me out as far as like mental stability and stuff like that, man. It's really a avenue for me to create something that is going to help me out. So
Oh
for
yeah.
me personally, I mean, I'm not sure what other questions you got, but that's a synopsis of that I was stationed in Dover Air Force Base, Delaware, for the
Uh-huh.
whole duration of my enlistment. So th-
Delaware, man. How was that, bro? That man, most people can't even find where Delaware is on the map.
bro, the only reason why I knew Delaware was because Wayne's World. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
they
Uh-huh.
mentioned Delaware on Wayne's World, and literally that's the
Yeah.
only reason I knew Delaware.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I was in I was in Texas. No, I'm sorry. I graduated high school at Fort Campbell, Kentucky,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
then we moved to Louisiana. We moved to Fort Polk, and so when I got to Fort Polk, that's where I ended up leaving out of. From there to San Antonio to basic training. So
Yeah. Mhm.
duration of my life, I've grown up in the South. So when I went from San Antonio to Delaware, man, that was a
Mhm.
huge culture shock. Going from Southern hospitality to the East Coast way of life is,
Yeah.
man, that was something
Yeah.
different.
Oh yeah.
But it was cool though, I got to see the
Mhm.
biggest winter storm of my life the first month and a half I was there.
Yeah, see, that got to be the biggest thing too, man. That weather difference right there, because being up north like that, I don't like it. I don't even like cold, man. That's why I'm from West Coast, and then stationed in the South, so like I'm used to warm weather, man. If I get cold, I can't do it.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's but that's something about the militaries, man. You especially growing up in the military, is that you
Yeah.
just have to adapt where you're at, and figure it
Mhm.
out. So that's something that
Oh
me and
yeah.
my brother learned at a very young age, just hopping from school to school to school to school. You just
Yeah.
adapt.
Mhm. Now, did your brother join as well, or did he serve at all, or was it just you?
Actually, my brother was slotted to go. He actually got down to, I think his lowest body fat percentage was like 11%, but he was going to go PJ.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
for those who aren't familiar, PJ is a special forces branch of the Air Force. So he got down to that. He was about to ship out. He was a week away
Mhm.
from shipping to basic. Him and my cousin, they were messing around after their job that he had at the time. He was sitting
Mhm.
on the back of my cousin's car. My cousin gassed it, and he slipped out from the car, busted his head.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Yeah, brain. Yeah, so they disqualified him from every branch,
Mm.
man. But
Okay.
he
Yeah.
was gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I
Dang.
and, that's a tough thing, bro. When you have your heart set and you've dedicated a lot of like you just training to get to the point
Yeah,
where
the
you are
training and
considered to
preparation
go,
and the mental
that's tough.
preparation and everything like that. Yeah.
And he swore in at the Rangers game in Arlington and everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
man, that's tough. But shout out
Yeah.
to my brother though. He's doing good things though. He's doing good things.
Mhm. All right. And then so did you become a barber before, while you were in, or after you got out?
Well, I dabbled with it before. So when
Uh-huh.
I remember when I first got to my first tech school, which is Army AIT, that's where you learn your
Yeah.
job.
Uh-huh.
And I got there, we're sharing, what was it? We were three to a room at that time. And
Mhm.
I remember one of the guys I knew, he wanted a haircut, and I was like, all right. So I went and got some Walmart, I think clippers from the BX, not Walmart. Went
Oh
to the
yeah.
BX, got some clippers, and I started chopping up, bro. I think I was charging at that time $5 a cut, and it was crazy the amount of people I would have in that little bath, that little latrine area.
Oh
Like
yeah. Uh-huh.
he was. I had the big old speaker just blaring
Yeah.
in the room,
Uh-huh.
and it's just chopping
Gotta
up,
have the
bro.
vibes going and stuff. Yeah.
It's crazy too because I had competition. There was another dude. I was on the third floor. And
Uh-huh.
there was three wings to the barracks that we had, and on the
Yeah.
bottom floor we had another dude. I forget his. I think his name was like Butters, last name Butters or something like that. But he was chopping up
Mhm.
too. So me and him, we were the tech school barbers. So I mean that's
Mhm.
where I kind of like got more of a passion for it. And then being in the military, you have to constantly be up to date with dress and appearance. And
Oh yeah.
so you get to learn how to do your own hair a lot of times, because
Mhm.
when you're a E3, you're not making much money. You can't
Oh
get
yeah.
to go to the barbershop every week. And my hair grows fast and it grows on my ears. So that's something I had to learn how to do, is self tapers and be able to do that. And then
Oh
slowly,
yeah.
I just had people, asking for chops every now and then. I chopped up a few people while I was in Iraq, a few people when I was in Afghanistan. And then
Mhm.
I didn't think that it was going to become a career, in all honesty. Like when
Yeah.
I got out,
Mhm.
I wanted to do like air freight, because that's what I was doing when I was in the military. I was working air
Yeah.
freight. And so I was like, I'm gonna find somewhere where I could do that. And
Mhm.
I ended up in Amarillo, Texas. If you don't know, Amarillo, Texas is not a huge hub of, like, a lot of different things. There's not much here. So the closest air freight was in Lubbock, which is where Texas Tech is at. That's about 2 hours south of me. And that's the
Yeah.
closest air freight they have, which is FedEx. So I moved here and I was like, dang. So the other option I had was to work at a nuclear energy plant, which is here in Texas as well. That's mainly the reason I moved here.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember I was working overnights at Sam's Club, and I was up during the day one time, and I was watching daytime TV, and they had a school commercial, and I'm over
Mhm.
here watching these guys, like watching them cut hair, and I was like, I think I could do that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try that, because
Mhm.
I felt like I didn't have no purpose, man. I
Yeah.
got out and I was so lost, bro. I was battling alcohol addiction, and I was just like trying to find my way, trying to find what purpose I would have for my life after being out of the military, because it's a
Yeah.
struggle for a lot of military folk. Like once you get out of the military, a lot of people end up being in, warehouses. They end up being, in these jobs that really are like a direct opposite of what you were doing when you're in the military. In the military, you
Mhm.
have you have a mission, you have a purpose, you know what your purpose is. But when you get out and you go to the civilian side, I feel like a lot of people struggle to find out, what am I going to do? And
Yeah.
so when I went to the school, I went to the what do you call it, the advisor. She chopped it up. She let me take a tour of the school, and I signed up that day. And from
Yeah.
that moment, man, I just turned on the gas, bro. Put my foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, and just tried to learn anything I possibly could. I was what do you call it? I was burying myself in YouTube tutorials, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
and that became my life, and I just got an obsession with it. And
Mhm.
one thing about people with addictive personalities is that you really just have to find a positive addiction that will kind of pull you away from the things that you're battling. So for
Yeah.
me,
Mhm.
barbering became that addiction, and it became that passion. And I was able to drop the bottle, not directly, but today I can sit here and tell you that I've been sober for 2.5 years. I think that is a
Mhm.
huge that's a
Oh yeah,
huge
bro. Yeah.
accomplishment, man.
Yeah.
But
And
barbering
you
helped me
know
out
how
with
it
that.
is too, man. In the military, bro, like alcohol and military go hand in hand, bro. Like it's to not be an alcoholic or to not be, especially like with stuff that people are dealing with, bro, from like, you've been on multiple deployments, the things you've seen, things you had to do, like PTSD that people deal with and stuff, man. There's things that's one of the coping mechanisms that a lot of guys resort to, so that's a big thing to you, bro, for being sober and being able to, like you say, replace your addiction with a positive addiction versus something that could be tearing you up.
Yeah, most definitely, man. That's one thing that I don't really think a lot of people realize, is how much of how destructive alcohol is to a lot of people. Especially in the military, because it becomes so normal. It's the
Hmm.
normal. I remember playing intramural softball, bro, and the commander bringing a huge couple ice chests to the softball field. I
Yeah,
was underage. I was underage,
yeah,
bro, and they're like, nobody cared. Like
yeah,
everybody's just about to turn up at the softball field, and
yeah.
that became the norm from that point. And I
Uh-huh.
got to see how accessible alcohol is, bro. Especially if you're in the
Yeah.
military, you want to go to the bar, all you got to do is show that cat card, bro.
Yeah.
You're in
You
there
show
like
that,
swimwear,
man.
bro.
9 times out of 10, they're gonna let you with a they're gonna let you slide. They're gonna thank you for
Yeah.
your service, even though you're 19. Here you go. You know what I mean? It's happened. I've seen it happen plenty of times before where I've gone out with some buddies and like AIT, and some of them been under 18, and we go to the bar, and the bartenders are like, no. you served our country. I'm gonna get you whatever you want, you know. So and
Yeah,
then
and
whatever functions and all that stuff, bro. Let's not even talk about like military balls, get-togethers, functions. It's all based around alcohol and stuff, man.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's something that I had to separate, man. That's something I had to separate from myself, especially being a father, being a husband. You know, I got to a point as well. I don't mean to get heavy quick, but since we're on the topic of mental health, I
yeah.
tried to commit suicide. I hung myself in my Miami apartment, and
Oh man.
thank
Yeah,
God that the belt broke that I was using from my balcony,
yeah.
and I was, from that point, I knew, God has spared my life for a reason,
Uh
and
huh.
I didn't know what the reason was at the time. I was trying to find that purpose, and that's when I moved from Miami to Amarillo, Texas,
Yeah,
and I was able to, sort out these things in my head and be able to find my purpose. And I really feel like I found my passion and my purpose behind the chair. I'm able to talk to a lot of different
yeah,
people a day. I'm able to, this is one conversation. I don't know if you're familiar with Salute the Barber.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Seen their page. Yeah.
yes, so I was in Nashville in October, and we had we were eating dinner. We had this conversation. It's like barbers don't realize how much power they have behind the chair.
Hmm.
You have the power to speak words of life and wisdom and direction, or you have words to just speak nonsense. You
Hmm.
have 30 to 45 minutes to determine you know something in somebody's life.
Oh
A lot
yeah.
of people come to barbers with problems. They come to barbers about relationship problems, kid problems, this, that, and the
Hmm.
other. We have the power, bro, to like really steer and directionalize people in the right path. And
Oh yeah.
that's something that I feel like is a lot of people don't really see, especially in the barbering atmosphere today. I feel like it's a
Hmm.
lot of money driven, and
Yeah.
and that's something that I'm not saying that I don't desire money. I'm not saying that money is not good for me, but I really pride relationships that I've built behind the chair over a paycheck.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah.
but and that just goes to show, man, how powerful this career field can be to a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot. And another thing I see is like a lot of ex-convicts, people who've been out the pen, they all find barbering, and it becomes a
Oh yeah, that used to be the thing, bro. That used to be the one job that a lot of dudes that was ex-cons, man, because it was one of the things to where they could get into it, get into the trade and stuff like that, and have a chance at like and then even back then, with it being mainly like cash only type
yeah.
stuff, it was like a hustle back then. So it was a way for them to earn a wage and earn a decent living back then, back when everything else for their criminal record would hold them up against being able to do anything. So like that's where a lot of them transition into that, man. But like barbering has done a lot for many people's lives. You know what I mean? Whether they got the bad pass of being an ex-con or just something new that they're looking for. But like just like you said, man, everything that like the ability that you have, it's so much more than just being a barber. Like a lot of times, man, like I've had clients share they like deep secrets, bro, or like stuff that they're really going through, or like real deep stuff like that they're really asking me for input and their opinion on, bro. And you're just like, dang, bro, like you said, man, you really have the power and the influence behind that chair to really like influence other people's lives, good or bad. Whether you're talking about nonsense or whether you're actually speaking life into somebody.
Most definitely, bro. And that's something that I truly hold valuable. And I feel like within the past years, that's something that I've really tried to focus on is the words that I speak. Be more cautious and intentional about the words that I speak. And
Hmm.
I feel like that's something that everybody should do. It's easy just to
Oh
get
yeah.
caught in the nonsense of what TV show are you watching, did you catch that game last week? But I personally like the more intimate conversations that we could have behind the chair, and it makes you feel more fulfilled as a barber when you can really be there for somebody. And I think that's a cool thing to do and be for somebody behind the chair.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, that's a big deal too, man. And the impact that you have on other people's lives, man. Like And like you say, it's the relationships that you build too with your clients as well. Like, with me being military and PCS, and sometimes my clientels will be limited to a few years here and there. But man, I've had clients like at my last duty station when I was at Stewart that I was cutting for like the 5 years I was there. So I saw kids grow up, bro, like in my chair, go from looking back at pictures, or I even saw my own growth of when I first started cutting them to like as they're growing up and the different type of hairstyles that they want and the different type of stuff they're getting though. But man, just like seeing people grow up, you constantly being able to pour into them.
Yeah.
I've even had some clients and stuff tell me like, man, you really motivated me, or you really empowered me to do this and do that and stuff like that. So it's just like it's a humbling experience. It's a humbling thing to hear that from your clients, or just build that relationship with them. And I even have clients now that still support me from afar. So maybe on social media and stuff, or they still reach out to me and we still chop it up, and they're still like, yeah, man, how you been? Man, I really miss the connection we had, and stuff and so on and so forth. So it really does show you the impact that you can have as a barber by just being behind a chair and being a good barber, having good conversation, customer service, all that stuff like that, man.
Yeah, most definitely. And one thing I think is really cool in your situation, being an NCO and being able to chop up these junior enlisted people, like it kind of puts
Oh
you
yeah.
because as a client, you go to a barber and like we said, you talk about all these different things that you can't really talk about with people. So you as an NCO, that kind of puts you in a position to be a little bit more closer to your soldiers than just being the NCO, being the
Hmm.
person that's going to scream orders all the time. Now you're opening up yourself to another avenue of mentorship, something that's a little bit more deeper. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's a really cool thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, and it's crazy too, man, because a lot of times too, I've like cut my own, like given my own soldiers haircuts, whether it was stateside or whether it's on deployments and taking care of them and stuff, and just really building that relationship with them. But being that a lot of times, me being in these military towns, I'd say more than half of my clientele is military, and a lot of times, like you say, with me being an NCO, I do have junior soldiers that do come and get cuts from me. And the thing that stood out to me the most one time is one of I had this specialist E4, and this man, he had been coming to me over a year and stuff, and he would always tell me about the issues he was having at work, he was dealing with a little bit of racism and being ostracized a little bit and stuff within his job, to where they had like cliques and stuff, and he was kind of ostracized out of it. And they would just tell him like he's a new soldier, or even when he was an E3, they'd say just go figure it out, and he'd be like, he was a mechanic, and he was just like, well, somebody got to teach me. He was like, I know how to do this, but certain things you're telling me to go work on a vehicle I never worked on before. So like he would come to me, and as I'm cutting his hair, and even outside of that, he would come to me and be like, "Hey man, Sarn, I'm dealing with this, dealing with that," and I would mentor him and tell him the resources that he would go to, or recommend to him, like what areas maybe he should go. What approach should he go as far as who he should talk to and stuff like that. And the wildest part about it was this man got sent to go to school, and we were there at Fort Stewart, Georgia, and he got sent to a school like I can't remember what state it was, but it was a couple states away. Tell
Yeah.
me why this man calls me, not his leadership, not his own NCOs, not his own people. This man calls me up and he says, Sarn, I need help. He said, I'm sitting at the airport right now. He was like, my people sent me to this school, and I'm sitting at the airport, and the military base that this school is an hour and a half away from the airport, and I don't know how I'm going to get here. Nobody's giving me any information. They just told me what day I start school, and they told me where it was, and they gave me my flight itinerary, and that's it. Man, I had to get on the phone. I started googling. I found the school. I wind up calling the people in charge at the school. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
there's a soldier here. He's sitting at the airport, such and such. This is He needs to, how does he get there? Man, I worked that whole stuff out for him so he could sit up there, and they wind up doing like setting up like a shuttle for him to get from the airport to the actual base for him to do that. And then, he came back to me later and he was like, Sarin, I really appreciate you doing that. But at the same time, it bothers me that I had to go to you, somebody who's my barber, to help me out versus my own leadership, that nobody was there in my own leadership to help me out. And that just,
Yeah.
it blew my mind, man, because it made me feel good too, not only as a barber, but as an NCO in the Army, that I was helping, that soldier thought high enough of me or confided in me enough to realize that when he was in a situation, he called me and reached out to me, or he had more confidence and trust in me than his own leadership. And that door was opened through barbering. You know what I mean? Not even
Yeah.
through us meeting at work. This was just a client that I met, that I developed a relationship with, and I mentored him over time, and he confided in me in areas that he needed outside of barbering.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. And it just shows you the impact, the power that it has. And it's a
Yeah,
cool thing. It's a cool thing, bro.
yeah.
I mean, even like relationship as far as the military is concerned, man. I don't know if I told you this story, but was it a couple months ago? I had one of these guys that I used to be stationed with in Delaware. I ain't talked to this
Hmm.
man in, I'm not even playing, 10 years. 10 years I
Yeah.
hadn't talked to him. But we used to chill, we used to go out, we used to, chill together, we used to work together on a shift. Um, but ever since then, it's kind of just Facebook friends, you just see each other's posts and that's about it. But he was moving from Alaska, from Anchorage over to Tulsa. Was it no Altus, Oklahoma, and
Hmm.
there's an air base out there. So he's driving through Amarillo, but he had messaged me a couple of days before he was headed on the road. He's like, "Hey, bro, I need a haircut," and I was like, "Man, I haven't talked to
Just
you in
out
forever."
the,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, out the blue. I mean, I didn't like say like I haven't talked to him forever, but I just
yeah,
the one thing that's cool is that we could just he messaged me and we just started chopping it up
yeah.
like time had never passed.
Oh
And he
yeah.
came through for a haircut, and we just got to chopping it up about a lot of things. He's a dad now, he's a husband as well, and
Hmm.
it's just it's kind of cool, those type of relationships that you've built in the military as well, that I've been able to carry on into the barbering side as well. I have another
Oh yeah.
guy that the guy who made my logo, the Jay
Uh
Blends
huh.
logo. He was
Yeah.
actually the one of the guys I used to work with on swing shift when I was in Delaware. He was like
Hmm.
the dude that took me in. I didn't have a car when I first got to the base, so he was like
Hmm.
shuttling me here and there. But he's passed through Amarillo multiple times, and we got to chop it up and stuff like that. He's made my logo for barbering, and never charged me a penny for it. And it's just relationships you build. They in the industry and military, it just all intertwines together. And I don't know if you've noticed, but one thing I've noticed about the military life is that the military world is small.
Hmm.
No matter how big this world is,
Yeah.
if you're in the military, it's a small world. And
Yeah.
even in the barber industry, it's
Oh
a
yeah.
small world. It's
Yeah.
like circles constantly, intermix, and
Oh
that's a
yeah.
cool thing.
Yeah. You always gonna know somebody. If you don't know them, then you know somebody that knows them, and it's
Yeah.
always kind of like that. So then for us, having both of those worlds, kind of combining them and stuff like that, it's a big thing. And too, like you said, too, like the benefits of that networking and stuff like that. So we definitely have like two hubs that we can really tap into. We have our military background that we can network into, and then we have our barber network that we can also tap into, and really, just really develop those relationships and networking benefits, whatever you may do to get from that, and whatever somebody may do to help you out as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's up, cousin my chief, man? It's good to see you on
What's
the
up,
live,
cuz
bro.
my chief?
There's a military veteran right there, man. But
Yeah.
one thing I was gonna say is I don't know if I know Thomas, Cubezilla.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so the crazy story is that I got into a engagement group. Like it was a bunch of guys that got into an Instagram group, and we were about to just like start liking and sharing each other's content and stuff like that. And
Uh-huh.
I met him in that group that I think it was Tank that had created that group,
Yeah.
like a couple years ago. And
Mhm.
I didn't know this guy at all. I didn't follow him. I didn't know of him, but we got to chopping it up, and he's like, "You're a vet, bro," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Air Force, yeah." We get to chopping it up. This dude, literally, the where I worked at in Afghanistan, he took over for the unit I was with like a week
Uh-huh.
later, literally a week later, bro. Like we
Yeah.
missed each other by a week in
Oh
2012,
man. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then I end up meeting him down the road and
Mhm.
barbering.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
small world,
man. And
bro.
that's small world, man. It's crazy too, man. Yeah.
But it's a cool thing, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, just kind of circling back, I know you were talking about once you got out, you kind of was doing other things as far as working certain jobs and stuff. And then you said that commercial came on. It kind of sparked, it was a light bulb moment for you to start barbering. And then you went to barber school. Now, when you went to barber school, did you use your GI Bill to go to barber school, or how'd that work for you?
No, I honestly didn't. I was very naive to how a lot of that stuff worked, and
Yeah.
I regret, not knowing and not asking questions.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually went to a cosmetology school, so that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because the city I live in, at the time they didn't have a barber school. The closest barber school was 2 hours away in Lubbock.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to this cosmetology school. I'm gonna get the paper that says I could cut, and that's what I've been. I've been a licensed cosmetologist since 2017.
Mhm.
And that in itself was a battle at the time because there was a lot of beef with people who went to cosmetology schools and are calling themselves quote unquote barbers. um
Yeah.
but but now you look at the license in Texas, and what does it say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it covers both stuff.
It covers
Yeah.
both. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I really don't care. I
Uh-huh.
know my skill set and what it is. So, and that was another thing
Mhm.
I was telling you about. I had to immerse myself in YouTube tutorials because
Oh, yeah,
we
'cause you were yeah, they were
we didn't get
probably
taught.
teaching. Yeah.
Yeah, so literally, bro, I remember the only hair cutting that I learned in
Uh-huh.
1,500 hours. We did 2 hours, and we went from a 2 guard to a 8 guard.
So not even a skin fade. Not even
No,
not any type of skin fade, just right off the bat, just
that was literally the only hair cutting that we learned the entire duration of my 1,500 hours. But my
yeah.
thing is that I was hungry to learn. Hey, speaking of Cubes, there he is right there.
Yep, there we
Uh,
go. Hey, Q, we was just talking about you, bro.
Yeah, but my my drive had me taking every walk-in I possibly could, bro. There was old
Oh,
folk,
yeah.
there was kids, there was and so I had
Mhm.
a little spot in the corner of the school in the back, and I would post up there all the time. So people know where that's where I posted up. I had three waiting chairs, like three little
Yeah.
chairs I had set up in the corner of the school, and people
Uh-huh.
would just come, man. And
Yeah.
another crazy thing is that I was charging tips, bro. Like this sounds crazy, but the haircut price at the school was $5. But I was like, look, the haircut price is $5 at the school, but I do want a $10 tip as well. If you want a
Uh-huh.
shaver, if you want a razor, if you want,
Yeah.
any designs or anything like that,
Uh-huh.
I said, I'll
Yeah.
do it. I said, but there's gonna be a tip involved. And I grew
Mhm.
up my clientele from that point, and just having that drive and motivation was pretty cool. And one of the things that really helped me in that instance is just the discipline that is instilled in you when you're in the military.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people struggle with being their own boss and being
Mhm.
punctual and being structured as a barber because you have a lot of youngsters just getting in the game, and they don't have any direct structure or any outline of how they're supposed to run a business. A lot of people who pay booth rent, they're not really going to have a lot of oversight or rules to how they function. A lot of people who are charged booth rent, they're just, all right, pay your booth rent, and pretty much whatever schedule you said is whatever schedule you said. So a lot of people that are coming into the game don't really come in with a disciplined mindset. So that's one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
things that really helped me out coming from the military into barbering was the fact that in the military you got to be 15 minutes early to being 15 minutes early. So
Oh, yeah.
that's
Mhm.
something that helped me out is like get to the shop. You're used to working long hours, used to being on call, you're used to this. So that really was easy for me to do a 12-14 hour shift. It never
Oh,
was
yeah.
really difficult. And I think
Man,
that was
that's
a
so much
huge thing.
facts, bro.
Yeah,
That's big facts, bro.
it was
Yeah.
so just easy to be able to get immersed in work. And, you know, another
Mm-hmm.
thing is that when you're in the military, you meet so many different people on a day-to-day basis. You have people talking to you crazy. You got NCOs talking to you crazy. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you get into the shop, I mean, it's kind of the same deal. If you're a
Yeah.
newer barber, you got people,
Uh-huh.
you got some walking clients want to be, you know, talking out the side of the neck about stuff. And then you got people within the shop that got their beef. You got random clients coming all the time. So, I mean, it's kind of just, it trains you to be able to combat these situations and be able
Mm-hmm.
to make yourself successful in that instance. And I will say, I think uh, the biggest hurdle was it was a curse and a gift at the same time, was being paid every day. You know, if you're in
Yeah.
the military, you know that you're paid the first and the 15th like
Yeah.
clockwork. That's what it is. It's not going
You
to
gotta
change.
stretch that
And
money. Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
budget that out. You're ready. You get the money. You spend what you gotta spend. You save what you gotta save, and then, but then, yeah, I guess that transition going from there to being a barber and getting that check every day. Now you gotta kind of start like, all right, now I gotta save some of this for my booth rent, for this bill, for that bill. Or yeah.
and it's so easy, bro, when you got cash in hand, bro, to just go out and spend it that day.
Mhm.
It's a very tough discipline that you have to instill in yourself to be able to save that money up. And the other, I've had people in the military message me and be like, you know, how is it transitioning from the military to being a barber? And I'm
Mhm.
blunt with them. I'm honest. Like, look, you're gonna get out and you're not gonna have that guaranteed paycheck. You're
Yeah.
not going to have you're not going to have a TRICARE. You're not going to
Yeah.
have, you know, there's so many different benefits that you have in the military that when you get out and you go as self-employed, it's not going to be there no more. You're not going to
Yeah.
have a free 24-hour fitness center on base that you can go to. You're going to start having
Mhm.
to get charged for gym memberships. You're not going
Yeah.
to have a dining facility that you can just go to get food. Now you got to start
Mhm.
budgeting, you know, what you're going to pay for food.
Yeah.
And you know, and people, as a military person, you sacrifice a lot already, especially if you're a family person, you're a family man. But I don't think that people really understand the transition into being a barber and how much more of a sacrifice it is. Because if you're not at the shop, you're not getting paid, and you got to be there long
Yeah.
hours. And I feel like sometimes, I'm not saying this from personal experience, but I've seen other people, sometimes their spouses don't understand, you know, that
Mhm.
sacrifice. And you know, it becomes like a marital or a relationship issue, because
Yeah.
they think, oh well, you're your own boss, you know, why don't you make your own hours? I need you
Mhm.
here at this time, I
Yeah.
need you there at that time. But like, look, it gets you have to go through a sacrificial period in the first, I'd say, first year to really build up your clientele, to get to a point where you can be like, oh, I'm gonna be at the shop this day, I'm gonna leave early this day. I mean, you know, you have to have that clientele set in stone. And that's
Mhm.
one thing I always urge to people getting out the military, is be prepared to sacrifice like you haven't sacrificed before, as far as
Yeah.
time and money.
Yeah. Because once that, man, like you say, that security blanket, man, in the military, people get really comfortable with that, man. You get to, like you say, that consistency, that security blanket, that paycheck on the first and the 15th, that TRICARE, all that kind of, just what's going on. You just got to be at the right place, right time, in the right uniform, and you getting paid. You doing your job. You don't get in trouble. But then once you take that away, and now the pressure is all on you to do everything yourself, and you, like you say, then that's when it comes, all right, now I got to grind it out, I got to sacrifice, because I'm going to get out of this what I put into it. So like, if we're not getting paid, if I don't have any money, it's because I wasn't grinding hard enough, or I wasn't putting in enough hours, I wasn't in the shop long enough being available, I wasn't marketing myself, whatever the case may be. So I could see where that could be a pretty scary transition for a lot of people, to go from being consistent, being in the military, getting that consistency that you're getting there, to now being a self-employed employee, where you drive all the action is driven by you yourself and stuff.
Yeah, it's
So,
all on you, man. It's all on you to make that bread, to get that clientele up. And at the end of the day, if you're not progressing, the only person you can look at is the person in the mirror and be like, all right, what do we got to do differently? You know,
hmm,
in the military, you can blame leadership, you can blame NCOs, you can blame this and that. But
Oh yeah.
for barbering, it's on you.
It's on you. Your
Yeah.
success or demise is fully is on you. So yeah, and I think one thing that's good too, that helps people maybe with that transition too, is if they were able to really tap into the VA benefits. So
Yeah.
like that could help out a lot. So like maybe you did get some medical things that were wrong with you. Maybe that VA disability could help out a little bit with some of that transition. So whether you're getting a VA disability, but if you the VA loan, just or VA healthcare, all that kind of stuff can help out for you as well. For you specifically, now if you got a family, you got to think about that as well. Okay, now I got to look at some insurance for my family, but I do feel like if you set yourself up right while you are still serving, you can make a pretty good transition and get a little bit of a security blanket. Now you're not gonna have that full thing that you had before, but depending on how your service went, maybe whatever injuries or whatever things that you did, if you set yourself up right, you could also get transition out with disability ratings, if that doesn't affect you too much and stuff like that. So
Go
uh,
to the clinic and document everything.
everything, everything.
Everything.
It took me so long, bro, so long to get over that, man. It took me just come the culture and the generation in the military that I came up in. Uh, you didn't do that. And then the number one thing that you didn't do was you didn't talk about mental health. So like I deployed to Iraq as well back in 2010, and I went out there right out of AIT as an E2, and I went straight into Iraq. Like 2 weeks out of AIT, I went to Fort Hood, Texas, and then boom, I was on the plane going to Iraq. So like it was a culture shock for me being brand new to the military and then going straight into a combat zone, and then just to start being exposed to some of the things I was seeing, and just on a daily basis, like it messed with me a lot, and
Yeah.
I've been in now in a couple weeks. It'll be 15 years that I've been in now, and for the first time, about a couple months ago, was the first time that I went to behavioral health and opened up that door and said, "Hey, I have some issues that I'm struggling with, PTSD, and some things that I've never talked about."
Yeah.
Took me 15 years, bro. I mean, 14, 15 years to go and say, "Hey, these there's something's not right," and it was just a culture from back when I came in. You don't talk about that. That was seen as weakness.
Yeah.
So
Toughen up.
like, yeah, toughen up or figure ways to make it or figure out ways to deal with it. And a lot of people's ways that they dealt with it was alcohol, whatever substance abuse or whatever the case that it may be that they dealt with, was how they went about it,
Yeah.
and I finally said, man, I need to go start doing this. And then like just even physical things with my body, man, being in the military this long, me being a tank mechanic, like my body's like it's that's 15 years of like working on tanks has like really broken me down. And I finally like start like saying, hey, this isn't working right. This isn't working right. I'm having this pain here. I'm having these issues here, and finally just getting the help that I need, that I should say something about it. So,
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize, like, in the military you live fast and you live hard.
hmm
And that'll come bite you in the butt later on in life.
oh yeah,
So, and I regret not like documenting a lot of things. I remember when I was out processing medical, um, the guy was asking me so many questions, bro, and I was just like so like eager to be to be like separated. And
Cube, Cube. Thank you for your service too, Cube.
hey, thank you for your service, sir. But I was so eager to be done with out processing, bro. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, no, I'm good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I'm good. Yep, that's good.
hmm
So my medical out processing, like it was less than like 2 minutes, bro, that he went down
Yeah.
this checklist of things.
Just went,
And
looked on there, was like, oh, you sure? Okay. All right.
yeah. But thankfully, the stuff that I was able to claim, which is like I had fractured my lower back when I was in and I have a lot of stuff stemming from that. So I was able to have that
Mhm.
on documentation from the local hospital that was there.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that were documented that I'm grateful that were documented, because it really
Yeah.
made a smooth transition.
Mhm.
Being able to work with the VA on different things like that. So, but like you said, though, a huge thing is that if you are a man and you are a veteran, now even if you're not a veteran, if you're a barber, a man, veteran, whatever, seek advice and help from people that can help you out. The worst thing you can do is internalize things and just try to stuff it down with whatever your vice may be, whether it may be gambling, whether it may be alcohol, what have you. Seek help, and there's people out there that want to help you out, man. There's people that out there that want to see you succeed. You're not going through this alone. There's so many people and men and veterans that are going through the same thing you're going through, if you would just speak up about it.
Oh yeah.
So if you're out there and you're listening, go do it, man. You got two people that were able to put that pride aside, shove that down, and be able to seek help, not only for us but for our families. I mean, you're a father and you're a husband, and I feel like that you being mentally sound is detrimental to the growth of your own family. So get out there
Mhm.
and get out there and do it for your family, not only yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. It's no weakness in that. It's nothing wrong. If something ain't right, man, just say something about it. If you're still in, go. If you're still serving, go speak to the doctors about it. If you're out, if you're out the service, go to the VA, talk to them about it. And even if you're just a barber, man, like go speak to somebody, man. Talk to somebody else at a shop. Talk to somebody else. You know, Cubezilla says, "I'll grab a drink with you and talk." Exactly, bro. You'll have somebody like that, man. Just like chop it up with somebody, man. Have somebody that you can confide in and talk about it, man. Because there's no point in holding that stuff in. If something's not right, like talk about it, like get it out there. Get help. Seek help if you need it.
And I will tell you that Thomas is one of those guys that will truly be there to talk to you. Um, I've been so busy lately. He's been trying to chop it up with me, but this past month, Christmas season, all that, I've been so busy. And my boy Thomas, I am sorry that I've been neglecting you. I miss you, bro.
Shout out to Thomas, man. Yeah,
Yeah, man. But Thomas is
yeah,
one of those
man.
guys, man. He will talk to you. He will talk to you about
Yeah.
anything and everything, and
Mhm.
that's one person that'll listen. So
Oh
if
yeah.
you guys find somebody like that, man, find people like that. That's the type of people you need in your circle that'll be able to, speak some wisdom and life into your life. Some life into your life. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
dumb, but some life
Some
into your
genuine,
life.
some genuine solid people, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man. So, now I noticed, man. So, like I said, I've been locked in with you for a while now, man. And I want to say, was it last year or the year before, bro? Was like social media really blew up for you. I remember, I promise you, I was looking like at your platforms and I was seeing a video. I mean, I was seeing a post from you like every single day. What year what was that, last year or the year before?
It was the summer of 2022.
2022,
That
yeah.
yeah,
So, cuz
that
I
was
remember I saw you, bro, like you went from like your normal platform that you had to exploded, bro, where you was posting content daily, boom. Then you were getting reposted on pages. Then I started seeing you, at on repost pages, constantly getting reposted. And then you actually got nominated was for one of the barber expos, right? Was it CT or
Yeah, I was actually one of the nominees for the Connecticut Barber Expo, the Content Creator of the Year. Um,
yeah, which is, bro, that's, I mean, CT Barber Expo is the biggest barber expo out of all of them, man. So that's like that's the barber equivalent of getting nominated for a Grammy. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, that was pretty
yeah.
cool. Unfortunately, didn't make it all the way, but I know a good handful of people that did make it to the final, and that was
Hmm.
one of my boys. Tank, he made it to the final five, I believe it was, and
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to
Hmm.
see. But even just to be nominated, man, alone, that is something that is super humbling, bro. And 2022 was that year that really skyrocketed my social media And then from that point, man, I was just doing a lot of expos and education and stuff like that. And, people paying and people giving me their time just to sit there and listen to me talk about different things as far as barbering and this and that. That's truly something that I do not take for granted, man. Because time is something you can never get back. And for people to give me that time, that is something that I am truly grateful for. And, I just, it amazes me still to this point on how far I've come in barbering. It's I have a on my wall. I have a box with my influencer edition clipper, and that blew my mind, bro. That dropped what last year in October, so it's been a year now. But just to be able to have that opportunity to be able to put whatever imprint I can on the game. I know there's a lot of barbers bigger than I am, but I'm humbled and I'm grateful for the position I'm in where I'm at right now. So I wouldn't want to do anything different. I like the things that I've chosen to do, the choices I've made, the route I've took in different aspects, and I'm proud of where I've gotten to, and I'm grateful for what this career field has offered me. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah, and talking about that, man, too, bro. I know that I know that following up that time that you had being where you blew up on the content creation side, and you really like just really blew up and was all over the scene. A lot of barbers knew about you and stuff like that. Was that I know that opened up a lot of doors for you, probably with a lot of these barber brands out there too. So you want mind on talking about that or sharing about how that content creation and becoming an influencer opened up other doors for you, as far as like with barber companies and stuff like that, and how that kind of led to where you're at now.
Oh yeah, man. I was able to. So I started the barber content. I started doing tutorials, and I started
Hmm.
unboxings. So I started
Yeah.
unboxing anything you could think of, whether it be Andis, Oster, Wall, Stylecraft, Gamma, T-Pod, anything that you could think of. I was unboxing Caliber. I mean, there was so many.
Hmm.
If you go further back on my YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of those different unboxings, and that really opened the door to brands reaching out. Just putting myself out there, just being able to put in the time, bro, the sacrificing the
Yeah.
time and money to make these videos. And for me at the time, I was making it just, trying to get content out there for people. Like, maybe this will be the
Hmm.
type of clipper you want to use. Maybe this haircut tutorial will help you out. Maybe this little trick will help you out. And I think that just not really expecting anything was really something that just catapulted, being able to be blessed with the different things that I've been blessed with this far. I feel like just putting yourself out there, shaking hands when you go to these barber expos.
Hmm.
Those are the things that are really going to, and just taking it back, relationship,
Yeah.
building relationships with people is what is going to help you out and get, recognized, and also putting out content. You can't
Hmm.
This is one thing I tell people all the time is that a lot of people try to get, sponsored by a company, this and that. But I go to their page and they have 133 followers. And
Yeah.
not saying that followers are everything, but you have to look at it from a business standpoint.
And the analytics
Businesses,
of it
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah, businesses are looking to get their product advertised, so if you got 133 followers, zero posts, and your account's on private, I really don't understand why anybody would send you free anything. It just
Yeah.
doesn't it
Hmm.
doesn't economically make sense for a business. So
Yeah.
so that's something to take into consideration, is that, make sure that if you are creating content, create content with a purpose, whether to educate, whether to entertain, or just to inform people. Yeah, that's something that I feel like a lot of people just put haircut videos or haircut pictures, and that's cool.
Yeah.
If your sole purpose is to get clients,
Yeah.
that's a thing that
I have
clients can
that
go look at.
portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you
If
have
you
that
just want a
portfolio.
portfolio and do that, but if you're trying to really reach beyond just gaining clients or having a portfolio, then you got to think outside the box and do more than that.
Exactly, man. Yeah, but I've been blessed to work with different brands. I've had Austin reach out to me to make videos for them. I was an affiliate with Stylecraft for a little bit. I also was reached out to by Supreme. I've had Wall reach out to me as well. And the company I chose to stick with is T-Pop. T-Pop, that's just been a organic relationship that I was able to build, a business relationship, and it's just grown to the point that it's grown at for me today. And so, everybody knows Jay Blends is the T-Pop guy, so that's kind of
Hmm.
it's kind of cool to just have people associate me with a brand, and I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool that's a cool opportunity. A lot of people out there, they're free agents, and I think that's cool. But for me,
Hmm.
I always tell people that I chose a company to work for because it's very hard for me to um, when I'm dedicated and loyal to something, like I go like balls to the wall for
Oh
what it
yeah.
is, and
Uh-huh.
so it would be very hard for me to be like, yeah, I support this company, but you should come check out, this over here, this other brand. Like it just
Yeah.
seems
Hmm.
disingenuous to me and to the brand that's afforded me things. So, and not only that, I thoroughly enjoy the quality of the clippers that I use. The price point's crazy. It's just a constantly
Hmm.
growing brand. And being able to be there from like kind of the beginning stages of
Yeah.
that
So
brand.
I
And
definitely see that you were there at a very pivotal moment for T-Bob in the really foundational phase of them going from where they started out, where T-Bob, where he started out, with his brand of, just kind of being a smaller clipper company with some white label stuff to now he's fully creating a whole clipper, the T-Bob play and the direction that he's moving, man. Like the trajectory that T-Pop has, man. He's on course to be like one of the biggest clipper brands, man. And he's got a culture that's behind him, man. So it's not just people that are even rocking with the tools. It's a culture. It's his kind of like guerrilla marketing that some people really don't vibe with, but some people do, man. But like he's got a wave of people that are behind him that
yeah,
rocking with it, and you were able to jump in that foundational phase. And like you say, now you've got your own Jay Blends influencer edition T-Pop Clipper, man, and that's like that speaks really volumes of where you came from and the content creation to now you have your own influencer clipper with this brand, and this brand is taking off, bro.
yeah, man, it amazes me all the time on how far the brand has come. For because the first review I had done was on a $36 trimmer, and the intention of
Hmm.
me doing that video was I bought that and I was gonna do an Amazon trimmer video. I
Yeah.
had no,
Uh-huh.
I honestly didn't know much about the pissed off barber brand besides the memes that he was putting out, which were hilarious.
Yeah.
They are
Uh-huh.
they
Oh
they
yeah.
would crack me up every
Yeah.
time
They're the little
because
cartoon ones and stuff. Yeah.
because one thing that I really feel is that I feel like the barber industry takes themselves a little too seriously sometimes.
Mhm.
And looking from the outside in, you need people to make light of something that people take like so seriously. You know,
Mhm.
um,
Oh yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like I feel like you have like a a barbering side that is like not so Hollywood, and then you got the Hollywood barbering side, and
Yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
it's two different cultures, and I feel like T-pop's culture is the counter industry, yeah, and
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean I could rock with it, so um I'm grateful to be a part of the ride. It's pretty cool. It's a great opportunity that I had, and I like I said that's and it's funny because one thing about working with this company is that I have gotten so much hate and crazy comments,
Oh yeah.
pe- pe- people talking out the side of the neck. And if you know
Yeah.
me, I am probably like one of the most chill dudes you will ever
Yeah.
meet in your life.
Uh-huh.
And it's just funny to me how the hypocrisy of you getting mad at a brand for making these type of memes and stuff like that, but you're over
Mhm.
here attacking a dude who's never even said nothing to you, never
Yeah.
antagonized you, never talked smack about
Mhm.
your haircuts or your page or this or that, but they'll
Yeah.
be on my page talking out the side of their neck,
Just
bro, and I'm
going
just like,
going at you, man.
Yeah, it
And that's
cracks me
that's
up. But
how it is, man. I mean, it's definitely, I've noticed with the brand, it's a love hate. There's no in between. It's
nah,
no there's no gray area there, bro. It's either somebody loves it and they rock with it, or they absolutely hate it. And I mean, I like I say, his marketing style is a little bit more unconventional, but it works. It works for him, man. And a lot of times a lot of times I've seen it, man, from outside looking in. He's just calling out stuff in the industry behind closed doors. You know what I mean? It's the same way and other things. He's just calling stuff out, and then he's somebody that genuinely cares about the industry. He's somebody that wants
yeah,
to put out decent products for affordable price and help barbers out. He's a barber looking out for barbers. You know what I mean? So I definitely give him my respect. I've tried out the play myself, and bro, that is one of the top clippers of the year. Like anybody who could sit up here and say that the T-Pop play is not in their top five or top three, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy to me.
crazy.
And this is coming from somebody that's affiliated with Stylecraft. So like
Yeah, bro.
I've even built up my own platform. I'm affiliated now with Stylecraft Gamma and stuff like that. But I'm gonna still that I just because I'm affiliated with them doesn't mean that I'm not gonna give credit where credit is due, bro. And I locked in with the plays. I tried them out. I cut my own hair with it. I cut a couple clients with it, bro, and it was fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
man.
then I turned around and even did a review on YouTube with it, man. And T Pop reached out to me personally and was like, "Wow, bro, I was really surprised from that. Like, appreciate the honesty and respect." And I talked to him, and he was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna be biased and stuff. Yes, I rock with Stylecraft. Yes, I love a lot of their tools, but just because I'm Stylecraft doesn't make me anti this company or anti that company. You know what I
You're a
mean? And if
realist.
I, yeah, I'm a realist, man. I'm a barber that's keeping it real, and if a company comes out with a product and it's fire, I'm gonna say, yeah, it's fire. Yeah, I even bought your the shirt. Put the
Oh
shirt
yeah,
on
yeah,
there too.
yeah.
You know
The
what I
the
mean?
Trump, the T-pop, the
The
Trump
the, the T
T-pop
Fob
shirt.
Trump shirt. The T Fob or no mob. So like the play, man, is serious business, bro. Like I rock with it. It's a great freaking clipper, and it's only what 129, I think, right now or something like
Yeah,
that. So
you could even get the black one for 99 bucks.
yeah, man, that's crazy, bro, to have that quality clipper in the day and age where clippers now are
300
ranging
plus.
300 bucks, bro. To get a clipper of that quality for $100, a little over $100 is insane, man. So hats off to him. He even reached out to me, man, and he told me when he was launching the T-Pop USA warehouse and market and stuff. He asked
Yeah,
me, he asked me that I wanted to be affiliate with him as well. So I went up there, I registered on the T-Pop USA website, and then I got my affiliate code with them as well too. So if somebody like DMs me or asks me about the T-Pop or asks me about it, I'll send it to them. I say, yeah, go get it. Go get it on the T-Pop website. You can use my affiliate code to get a discount or whatever the case may be. But I'm not gonna steer somebody away from that, bro, because like you say, I'm a barber that's keeping it real about genuine good barber products.
yeah, man. And that's something that is a misconception. Like people always like, oh, you're getting paid by T-pop to do this or that, but bro, I've had companies reach out to me. I've had Wall reach out to me and ask me, what would it take to pull you away from T-pop? We really like, the content that you make. And
Hmm.
what would it be? And also my Stylecraft code is still operational. I think I checked it like a couple weeks ago because somebody had asked me, it was in conversation. They're
Yeah.
like, "Does your code still work?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let's go see." So I went to the
Yeah.
website and it still worked. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
I'm not blackballed from working with any other company, or I'm not allowed to not work with any company.
Hmm.
I literally choose to work with this company. I literally choose to use the tools that I do because of the quality that I found in it and also the price point. Like, why would I want to, and this is a funny thing. I got accused by a Clipper CEO of doing just uh making videos and promoting T-Pop just for the money. He told me this
Mm.
in Messenger, and he went off on this huge spill about I only do this for money, blah blah blah. I'm being disingenuous. I'm lying to customers and consumers. Da 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 da. Da.
Mhm.
But after he accused me of doing stuff for money, you know what this dude does? Like right after accusing me of all that, he goes and tells me, "I'll give you 20% commission, and I'll also pay you 1,000. What I think was it 1,000 or $2,000 a month, like salary."
Bro, no.
And I was like, "Bro, you literally just told me that I do stuff for money, and then you're gonna go and try to bait me with money? Like that don't make no
Uh,
sense, bro."
bro
And
tried to buy you out your contract.
yeah, bro.
Thomas
Thomas
said,
said,
call him out.
if
Bro,
the
that's
it, I will say
man.
that if the beef gets a little bit more spicy with this certain
Uh-huh.
other company, I have all the screenshots. It's
Yeah.
saved. This is from December of last year when some of this went
Yeah.
down, and then also he was shooting off his mouth at me, Barber World, the Barber World group. So I have screenshots from that too. And
Yeah.
this is somebody that I've never talked to this man. I don't know who he. I mean, I know of him, but I don't know who he
Yeah.
is. But just to pop off at me like that for no reason, bro. Like I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
you're tripping. Like especially as a
Yeah.
CEO, like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that just blew my mind, bro. But
Yeah.
that's the thing is that I could work with whoever I want. It's
Mhm.
just I choose to work with the brand I work with. Even
Yeah.
was it Oster had asked me to do when they had dropped those when they had dropped
With the fast feed.
the wireless stuff, the trio, the
Oh, the
trimmer,
fast feed,
the
the
detachable,
finisher. What was it? The
the
finisher,
finisher, and
and
then
then the
uh
70. Was it? It wasn't 76. Was
yeah, the
it? Or
wireless
was it?
76er.
Yeah.
So
Uh huh.
they messaged me and asked me to do unboxing and review over that. And
Mhm.
I sat on it and I was like, man, like I already used like the cordless fast feed at the time, and
Mhm.
I wasn't really impressed, and I couldn't find myself to do the video because I
Yeah.
was already turned off by the clippers.
Yeah.
So I was like, and they offered to pay per video, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, like, and then T Pop was like, get your bread, bro. Like, I was
Uh
like,
huh. T-Pop said, "Go get it, bro. Get the
yeah,
bag."
I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, it just, I couldn't. And that's the thing is, like I said, I choose to work with who I want to work with, and
Mhm.
I feel like that loyalty and that me choosing that has benefited.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's really played a part, and that's something that people got to understand is loyalty.
Mhm. Exactly, man. And I was the same way too, man. Like when I started out, I was all over the place with different clippers that I had. So like my station was just all different kind of brands. I may have had like the Wall Senior, but then I had the Babyliss FX trimmer, and then I had this and that and this and that. So I was really trying to kind of like find myself within that and find out kind of like what I really rocked with and stuff like that. And as my social media like platform started to really grow and elevate over time, um, it got to the point to where I think I was reached out and I got sent a free product once, you know what I mean? And then that's kind of like when I started building some of the relationships with Stylecraft and Gamma when they started coming up. And then I
Yeah,
really just got to the point too, because one thing that really for me, like my whole colorway is gold. So like they
yeah,
were one of the companies outside of like Babyliss that really was like on a gold wave. So like I really started buying some of their products and then like doing videos on it, promoting their stuff and gaining their attention. And then it really like I kind of got where I got locked in with them. And then now, they continue to send me stuff like that. But then it didn't just happen like overnight, like you said, man. Like I really had to establish myself as a content creator to be able to get their attention. So I had to get my followers up, but more importantly than that, it was my analytics. It was the engagement. So when you looked at my analytics, it was showing how many people I was reaching on my different platforms.
yeah,
Whether I was doing short form content on Instagram and TikTok, and then long form on YouTube. Like that stuff right there is what these companies want to see. They are using you as a modern day marketing person. So instead of them having a specific marketing department, they're now using influencers a lot of time to do the marketing for them. So if you aren't pushing numbers, man, like if you got like you say, you got 100 followers and you got like 500 views or whatever, or whatever the case may be, they're not going to be as inclined to go to you as somebody else that if I pulled up my current analytics right now on Instagram, my stuff's been going in, bro. I think I just looked at it and I'm like at 4.4 million, so like I show some company that, bro, they're like, yeah, we sending this to you, so like,
Yeah.
and I even did a short little video on that, man. But that's like the important stuff. So like for anybody that wants to be an influencer or wants to get these sponsorships or affiliates with these companies, you got to build up your social media presence and your platform, and you can get to that point to where you're a Jay Blends that is locked in with T Bob or anybody that he was doing up before that. He has his own clipper now, and even with me, I'm locked in with Stylecraft Gamma. I've got GMB Pro, I've got some other company, Self Cut System, so I'm locked in with Self Cut System as well because I cut my hair a lot of times. So like all this stuff came from grinding it out and putting in the work organically before you get to that point to where these other companies start recognizing you.
Not buying followers.
Yeah,
Don't do
not
that.
not by. And I'm saying, you know what? Since we own the topic, I'm telling you right now, it's the easiest thing in the world to spot somebody that hasn't bought followers. And I'm gonna throw the shade out there right now. If I go to your profile and you got 15,000, 25,000 followers, and I go over there and I swipe over and I look on your reels or I look on your posts and I see 230 views, 1,000 views, 125 views, and we scrolling, and I'll scroll back. I'll keep that thing going. I'll keep scrolling, look back, and I don't see one viral video or whatever new stuff that you posted. If you're not a celebrity, and you ain't never posted like had no viral stuff or something,
Yeah.
it's obvious, bro. It's obvious, man. It's
So
obvious this day, man. Because people like us, bro, we know how much work it took to get to the point where we at now. Like I think on Instagram, I got like 16. I just hit 16,000 followers,
That's
bro.
what's up, bro.
I've got multiple million views, bro. You swipe on my thing, I've got well over probably 5 to 10 videos that have hit over 1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get to that point. So if come on, it's like stop the cap, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man.
Bro.
Editing, create coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
It's just
organically coming up with them ideas, man. And then even the biggest thing too, if I pulled up your Instagram right now and I looked up in the top left corner, that post count, how many videos did you drop? Especially like back in 2022. How many videos did you drop, bro? Like to get to that point.
I was doing like 3 videos a day for 3 months at one point.
Exactly,
and
bro.
So do the math. That's like what 90 days times 3, looking at what 270.
Yeah,
270 videos in the span of 3 months.
Yeah,
and just being able to think of something new. I think about this all the time.
Yeah,
like, being able to think of something new is crazy. And I'm not gonna lie. I have, there's trends and stuff that have happened, and you recreate the trend.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my biggest things is that you have to use your own personality and the way to spin it to your own way. But just that amount of content, bro. I think I'm sitting at right now, the number of post counts like 20 over 2,400 since the life of my account, and that's a lot of posts, bro. It's a lot of posts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I'm not sitting at your numbers right now.
It's a lot
right
of posts, bro, and people don't realize that too. A lot of work.
Yeah, my engagement right now is like at 2.1 million.
Let me see. Look. Yeah. So so even mine, man, like I got 1,181 posts on there, man. And really on mine, I had one video that I posted outside of my niche that went crazy. it's helped me out, but then I also kind of look at it like, is it really helping me out or is it not? Because I'm gaining hella followers and it went like over 10 million views, but it's not within my niche. It was a car that I saw, and I put a certain
Oh yeah,
sound over it and stuff, and it went freaking nuts. But like, but yeah, man, just putting in that work, bro. Like, and then, like you said, man, you gotta really find out what works for you. Like, don't try to be somebody else or try to do something the way somebody else does it. Like a lot of content, yes, is recreated, but you got to kind of make it your own and find out what is unique about you. Like you and I both, we share something similar. We both can a lot of times find like comedy in content. We can be
yeah,
funny. That's a natural organic gift that we have. So we use that to our ability when we're creating content. A lot of times I can just no, bro. And sometimes I feel it's also a gift too, man. Like sometimes I could just be scrolling through Instagram and I hear a sound and immediately, bro, like
instantly.
I can instantly just I come up with an idea for a video and then I'll be like I'll do one or two things. I will go put it in my notes, or if I have the time to, hey, let's go. I need to go do this video real quick. Set up my tripod, and then boom, bam, boom, boom, knock it out. So it's like you got to figure out what it is. Whether you're an educator, whether you like do killer crazy transformation haircuts, whether you're funny, whether you're creating like entertainment, whether you're educating, you got to figure out like what it is unique about you and create that content that people will rock with.
Yeah, most definitely. It's all about being genuine, and
Yeah.
people will see through a character, someone
Yeah.
being fake, and
Mhm.
that's something that I'm happy that the way I built my following is that it's devout followers, bro. The people that follow me really rock with me. Like
Yeah.
and I know that for a fact because last year my daughter was in the hospital. She was in the ICU for a week. Um,
Mhm.
and when I was in Albuquerque, bro, I had barbers from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm not even from Albuquerque, New Mexico, bro.
Yeah.
But my daughter was flown there to the pediatric ICU. And
Uh-huh.
while I was there, I don't know how many barbers from Albuquerque, bro. If you need anything, let me
Yeah.
know. If you
Mhm.
need food, we'll bring it by. If you need
Oh yeah.
this, let me, bro. The amount of support that I got was
Mhm.
crazy,
Yeah.
and that just shows you that when you build a following up with the right way and you have genuine people that really rock with you, that's the type of support you're gonna get. I've done like merch drops like crazy over the
Mhm.
past 2 years, and I've had people buy my merch and constantly support me, bro. Like
Yeah.
I have people that have bought every piece of merch that I've ever dropped,
Yeah.
and I may not be selling like crazy amounts, but the people that do support and buy every single piece, like
Mhm.
those are the people that I'm like, dang, that's dope.
That's
That
community.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
it's a
that's
dope.
the big thing, man, is building, the difference between just a follower and having a community. Like if you really get a community, bro, they locked in with you through whatever, man. Whatever you got going on, bro, they support, and that's the biggest thing, bro. If you build a solid community, like cater to them, like, and then rock with them, man. They'll rock with you, support you through whatever endeavors you're kind of going through.
Most definitely, bro. And I'm not saying what I'm about to say as a form of just trying to gratify myself or anything like that or glorify myself, but a lot of people don't see the things that I do behind the scenes. A lot of
Mhm.
people will message me like, "Hey, my blade chipped on my trimmer, my T-pop trimmer,
Yeah.
or my spring, like I took off the lever and the spring bounced, or
Yeah.
this foil was I got is messed up." A lot of times, bro, I have so many clippers that I get from the company. A lot of times I'll have extra this or extra that. I'm over here like sending this, or I have an extra lever. I'll
Mhm.
send you this lever. I'm milling this, I'm milling that. And people are like, "Oh, how much you want, bro? What's your cash app?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro, like I got you, like
Yeah.
uh, you know, I feel like I've been put in a position to bless people, and I feel like when you bless people, blessings will come in return.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always tell people a lot of stingy people, bro, their hands are like this. But
Mhm.
one thing about blessing is how are you going to accept a blessing if your fist is clenched up?
Oh,
You
yeah.
have no room to receive anything. So if you are giving, your hands constantly open, and you're
Mhm.
open to receive as well. And that's one
Hmm.
way that I've constantly lived my life, and I feel like that's another beneficial thing that I've been putting beneficial opportunity um
Oh yeah,
areas that have been helpful in this career as well.
yeah. And we can take it biblical here, man. What do you say? It say give and it'll be given to you. Press down, shake it together, and run it over. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean? So
And
it's always one of the things, man. If you're giving and you're giving away, you're doing stuff, and you're doing it out the genuineness of your heart, not looking for something in return and stuff, bro. It's gonna come back to you. It's gonna
yeah,
get. It's gonna be blessed back to you. You know what I mean?
and that's all
And
part of the community.
yeah, and that's part of the
Yeah,
community, man. You take care of people, bro. You're gonna get taken care of. It's gonna come back your way, tenfold. So
most
and that's the biggest thing too, man. Like I see a lot of people doing like helping out and stuff like that too, but there's been things that I've done too for people like, that I may not like record or show, but it'll be soldiers all the time, man, that come up to me and they be like, "Hey, son, I kind of ain't got no money until my next paycheck, but my NCO's down my A right now. You think you could cut me up and then I'll get you in 2 weeks?" I'll be like, "Bro, I got you. Come here, man."
yeah,
And I'll cut them up, hit them up during lunch, or just be like, "Hey, man, they like, hey, son, I only got like 20 now, but you think I in next week, I can spot you the other thing?" Or then somebody just come up to me like, "Hey, I got a board coming up and I kind of messed up, and the barber I was gonna get a cut with that fell through, or somebody even their NCO come up to me like, "Hey, man, my freaking soldier didn't get a haircut and they got this event going on. Can you think you can help us out?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, come on, come before PT. I'll get you right." You know what I mean? But it's just that taking care of other people and thinking about others, you know what I mean? And not looking at it with something in return or really like hounding somebody back, just like blessing other people because I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I've been blessed. I also have a gift. I have the ability to be able to do something, an extra talent on top of being in the military. Now I could be a barber too. So I'm going to use that gift and I'm going to operate in that gift whenever I can and try to bless people when I can, whether I'm just like, "Hey, you want a free cut?" Or whether I'm like, or hook them up, or if they ain't got the money now, it is what it is. I'm not going to sweat them over it. You know what I mean?
yeah, most definitely. And you built yourself a community up yourself, And I've
Yeah.
noticed that, a lot of military barbers rock with you because
Yeah.
that's what you built your brand off of, and that's a community that
Hmm.
you have built, and I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And yeah, it's been nice, man. I really try to some of the DMs that I've gotten, man, have really been like really motivating and impactful, man. Like sometimes like I didn't even realize like the impact that I had until like somebody may like send me a DM and just really like open up and just been like, "Man, some of the stuff that some of these soldiers or even other service members and other service members have said to me and just been like, son, you so impactful, or you really motivate me and inspire me, and X, Y, and Z, and and I'm just like, dang, man, I didn't even know. Like sometimes you don't even know you have that influence or impact on others, and it really does drive you to continue to like do more and like give back to them and stuff like that. And that's like I say, that's part of the reason why I also wanted to do this series as well, man, because I want to give other barbers that have been in the military, be able to share their story and be able to help others out, inspire others, educate, motivate, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be, so they can kind of continue moving down the path that we have, you know what I mean, and continue to pass the torch on and carry it on. You know what I mean?
Most
Because
definitely.
one thing we know, military ain't going away, and haircut regulations ain't going away either. So you might as well get after the bag. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one of the best skills you can learn in the military is learn how to be a barber, because them haircut regulations ain't really going nowhere.
that's
So
a whole nother topic. I went to a I went to an Air Force base a couple weeks ago,
hmm.
and I was in the military 09 to 14, and
Yeah,
I kind of gradually seen things change and shift.
yeah,
But
hmm,
now I was on that base and I was looking at everybody's hair. I was looking at everybody's uniforms, how snug they're fitting. I was
yeah,
like, bro,
yeah,
the how lax it has gotten. It blew my
It's
mind.
changed, man. And
But
what really has changed it too is the recruiting issues, man. Recruiting and retention is hurting right now. So right now,
yeah,
bro, it's tough, man. They really letting a lot of stuff slide.
writing waivers for everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
But that's another topic. I can get sidetracked on that
Oh yeah.
for a good bit.
Look, hey, cause my chief said I still recruit for the Navy. I have a QR code on my chair for my buddy that's a recruiter. That man behind the chair is
Hey,
still trying to push me into the Navy.
that's a real one, man. You know, and it's cool because just touching on that, I've had clients, bro, that have joined the military. I cut them through
Mhm.
high school and everything like that, and they always ask me like, what branch were you in? And I was able to put, instill some different, ideas in their head, kind of steer them in which route they're trying to go, make sure that they have an idea of, like, I'm always telling them, if you're gonna join, pick a career field that you can use in the civilian
Yes.
sector. Like,
Transition out, man.
and
Something,
I'm like,
yeah.
Make sure you do that. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, bro, that they some people listen, some people don't. I remember one of these guys, he was so in love with this one, his high school ex, bro. And he was
Mhm.
going to join the military, and he was going to go to Idaho, and his girl was going to be in, I don't know, in Texas somewhere. And I was like, bro,
Mhm.
you might as well just call it a wrap, bro.
Yeah.
If you ain't getting married, like,
Yeah. Yep.
just be done with it. And he's like, nah, bro, she really loves me. It's gonna work out. You're gonna do long
Mhm.
distance for this and that. And then I hadn't talked to him in a while. He came back on leave, and I was like,
Mhm.
how's you and your girl, bro? And he's like, we broke up, bro. And I was
Yeah.
like, I told you, I told you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But just being able to spit some insight in that realm as well as for clients that are going into the military. I think
Yeah.
that's a cool thing too behind the chair.
Yeah, because I get a lot of them too, man. A lot of DMs from dudes that may not be in, but they kind of see, a lot of times they think that it's a job in the military, like an actual MOS. So they
Oh
think
yeah,
like
yeah,
being a barber. So then I had to kind of clarify for them, and I let them know like, no, that's not my job in the military. I'm a tank mechanic in the military, but I do barbering on the outside, and then I
yeah.
kind of do that. And Cuts by Chief, he could probably quote me on this, but far as what I'm tracking, the Navy is the only service that you can actually be a barber in, but you're not a specific barber. I think they call it
It's like
a
merchandise, right, or something like that.
merchandise. Yeah, it's like so pretty much they have multiple jobs. So from what I'm tracking, they like work in the store, like in the ship. So they like working in the store, so like inventory and all that stuff like that. They also work in like the store's coffee shop. They also work in the barbering, like so they do the haircuts. Yeah, retail specialist. Yeah, so he said it's a retail specialist. So they have a lot of avenues that they cover, and I think they may also kind of do laundry or like take the laundry as well. So they have a lot of those things. But that's the closest thing to being a barber in the military is joining the Navy and being a retail specialist. And I think once you get to a certain point, they can actually send you to like a higher level school to be able to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could go work for AFES and just mess up
Yeah.
everybody.
Uh-huh. Look,
You can do that
look,
too.
Thomas, Thomas gonna say go into the Navy, see man. Well, yeah,
Oh man.
but it's a lot of guys that'll ask me that, and I had to kind of clarify and let them know. But then I also let a lot of guys know too, man. I'm like, look, that's one of the best skills you can have being in the military is being a barber because being a barber has gone with me everywhere I go. Like whether you PCS, whether you're deployed, whether it doesn't matter where you go, everyone is always going to need a barber. And deployments have been like some of the biggest like paychecks, you know what I mean? Because supply and demand when you go over there, a lot of times it's not there, you know. And I remember earlier in the video you said you started cutting like an AIT. There was a
Yeah.
dude in my class that was a barber before he joined the military. This man in AIT never touched his military paycheck because he was cutting everybody up. This was $10 haircuts back then, back in 2010 when I was in
Yeah.
AIT. He was charging $10. Man, never touched the 4 months we were in AIT, never touched his military paycheck because all he did every day at the end of the day and on the weekends was just cut our hair, cut everybody's hair. And it was either that or go to the PX and get butchered. You know what I mean? So
So he never touched that like $600 every 2 week paycheck, huh?
yeah, yeah. So he never touched his military paycheck. You know what I mean? He all his money that he spent and all his money that he used was from doing the haircuts. So like, and I
It's
didn't
a
even
smart
the light
man.
bulb didn't even click for me back then, man. Like I went many years like in before I really started thinking like about being a barber. It wasn't until like 2017 where the light bulb moment went off for me to like start being a barber. Now I had other buddies like when I was deployed, like I had another soldier that was cutting my hair. I seen other people doing it, but the light bulb never went off for me
Yeah.
until 7 years later. And then from there, man, I've been locked in, bro.
Now, hopefully you carry it off after you retire, and
Oh yeah,
hope that you get a success. I'm sure you're gonna be successful. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
you understand the business aspect behind it. You understand what
yeah.
it takes to get clients, and you understand professionalism and aesthetics of a shop. I've seen your suite and everything, so I know you're gonna be
Hmm.
successful once you do retire. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
man.
to seeing what you do when you do retire, man. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
pretty cool
man.
thing to see.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan, man. I love the industry. I have a respect for it, and I love it so much that that's going to be like that's the direction that I want to go into, man. And I really look forward to, growing in the industry, mentoring, whatever the case may be, bringing the past experience and knowledge that I have to it, and continuing to grow in there, and just really like evolve in the barber industry as I make that transition out the military, man. So that's
Yeah.
definitely like the future that I want to lock in and be solidified in, man, and immerse myself in the culture, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep pushing, bro. I'm watching.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. But yep. This has been good though, man. Like I say, Jay, man, I really appreciate you jumping on here, bro. Sharing your story, man. We got to link up again. It's been nice having you on. Like I say, appreciate you sharing yours. This is episode 2, my military barber story. Your boy Jay Blends. Y'all make sure y'all give him a follow as well. He is on all platforms, so he is on YouTube, Jay Blends, Instagram was Jay Blends underscore.
Underscore.
Yeah.
And then
So
on TikTok too, but I don't understand it
on
very well. But I'm on
yeah,
there.
yeah, on TikTok as well. But on the video after this, I'll put all his handles in the comments. Everybody that's been on the live with us, I definitely appreciate the support. Everyone who's been on here, locking in with us. It's been nice. Till next time, you know what I mean. Soldier Barber Life signing off the net. Jay Blends. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the opportunity always, man. It's always good vibes when we connect, bro. And I can't wait to hop on here and do another live sometime. Maybe more topic driven. I think that'd be
Oh yeah, yeah, man,
like
for sure,
that'd
bro.
be cool. More
Yeah.
I don't know, roasting some haircuts together or something.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
know.
Whatever it is, bro, we got it. We could do something, man. We could definitely get on here and get after.
Maybe
Get
you could
Tomaso on here too. Start roasting him.
start taking pictures of people on base with the haircuts and
Oh
we'll
yeah,
roast
bro. Yeah,
those.
do some reaction videos to these worst haircuts that I
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
But thank you, brother. Thank you again, man.
Yep. I appreciate you, man. All right.
All right, brother.
All right. Later.